We are back with another episode of adding characters from different IPs into the Marvel Rivals universe. This time we're going to be adding characters from an IP that also has a huge roster of superheroes, and so quite naturally I think they would fit perfect into the Marvel Rivals roster. And so I teamed up with Rui and Jackson again to decide which characters we were going to draw. And so the wheel told me to draw Omni-Man, Jackson got Invincible, and Rui got Battle Beast. I've been binge watching this series and now I've become a huge fan of it. So I've been super keen to get in there and try my hand at drawing a character straight out of... And remember, if you like what you see, remember to like, comment, share and subscribe. Now it's time for the drawing. Alright, so for the drawing for Omni-Man, we're just going to go into the time lapse now, and basically I had a plan very early on that I actually wanted him to be posed centered and facing forward. I know in the past videos we've been talking about how we make all the characters in these designs a three-quarter pose, because that's usually how they're presented in the character screen and the splash art and everything. Although there is a couple of characters that are presented a bit differently, like how Spider-Man is front on but he's doing his whole hang from the web upside down thing, which I always thought was pretty cool. So I in this drawing I decided I was just going to try do something different and make it a forward-facing pose. And a big part of that, I wanted the design of the drawing to be reminiscent of the personality that I think that this Omni-Man would have in this universe. Being part of, you know, the Viltrumite race, he's a very powerful being, and in this one where he's still a little bit evil and you know, wanting to exert his dominance and power, I figured, you know, it's a very typical pose to have your arms crossed and fold. It shows, you know, your sense of strength or dominance. I think of a lot of characters, you know, like say M. Bison from Street Fighter, and, you know, just sort of authoritarian and giant, you know, menacing villains. They always have this kind of arms crossed pose, you know, staring down at the camera. And I thought it was very fitting because if he's going to be evil in this one, I wanted him, you know, as he moves, you know, through the battles you're playing him, I figured his walk cycle would just be him, you know, floating in the air and just walking forward, you know, or floating forward while his arms are crossed, just heading towards the enemy. It just shows how confident he is, how powerful he is, that he doesn't even need to do anything other than, you know, just you know, walk or float towards the character to show that kind of power and dominance that he would have. I think for those of you who have watched the series, I won't like spoil too much, hopefully. If you haven't watched this at all, I highly recommend it, and you should probably skip a bit ahead to the reveal. Essentially, he's Omni-Man is like a parody of Superman, right? With basically the most powerful superhero that exists in their universe, in their Earth. And, you know, the dynamic changes from when he becomes a hero into a villain, and just the mere presence of him staring down at you, not doing anything. He at one point he approaches one of Mark's friends and just asks, "Where is Mark?" And the way he asks and the way he stands, his whole posture, facial expression and demeanor, it just all shows how you know, menacing he is. Like, the dynamic changes completely, and basically he doesn't even have to raise a finger to show how dangerous he can be. And I wanted to portray that in this design, and so that's why I figured he would just be floating towards characters, just arm folds. That's how you control him when he's, you know, walking or flying. So I'd already decided on that, and then with the design I was going to stick to the color scheme and the overall design that his costume already has, which is like that grey and red mixed in there, with the big O for the Omni-Man on his chest. But then, you know, the design, I'm basically trying to turn it into the Rivals version by, you know, using the large chunky shape, sci-fi armor, extra big, a lot of cuts and lines, and pads, and, you know, shin guards and shoulder pads and everything. And that's basically what I do here. I wanted to add a little bit extra to it. I always thought that, you know, his capes are always badass. Whether they're practical is always a different question, but in terms of visual appeal, I think that capes are really cool. So I made his made his cape a little bit bigger. I think it is pretty big and flowy, but I wanted it like, you know, fanned out and open and quite large, because I wanted him to almost appear as like a royalty kind of character. So I figured if he's like, you know, among the most powerful of the Viltrumites, he would be, you know, like a lord or like their king. And a very common thing that kings and lords wear are cloaks and robes and extra ornate drapery and decorations that they would wear on their clothing. So I wanted to allude to that a bit. I think the design, it was very similar to you know, how Magneto looks even in this game, actually. I mean, even the color palette is quite similar. I thought that was a way to go by, and it was kind of like they're both, you know, quote, older looking but very confident and dangerous, you know, individuals. So I figured, yeah, their personalities kind of align in some ways like that. But anyway, yeah, at this point, I'm basically just rendering everything like in the usual Rival style. We have the hard white rim lighting that's going to have the chromatic aberration of the pink and the blue. And I just pushed that, and in this version, I decided to use the lasso tool to just make it extra chunky and angular shaped. Although in this stage of the drawing, I've already actually established all the, you know, the colors and the design, and like the design roughly and everything. And I actually, as usual, I always do a bit of tweaking. Like I've mentioned before, I don't like to be beholden to the very initial sketch that I started with. It would make it more smooth process if I did follow it that way, but I like to really play around with things and just see how it looks before I fully decide. Like you can see here, I was adjusting the proportions and the pose a tiny bit. I didn't want his pose completely symmetrical, so I adjusted the positioning of the legs to be a little bit different. His head was a bit small, so I made the head a bit bigger, and I adjusted the shoulders, the shoulder pads to, you know, be a bit further, like larger and further out. And I made his arms a bit bigger. He's actually quite a lot more muscular than he is in the comics or the animation in the show. And the reason I did that was because Rivals is already, again, like a very chunky style, but I decided that I wanted to make Omni-Man a vanguard because I figured that would portray his, you know, power very adequately, because in his universe he's pretty much one of the most powerful beings to exist, and you know, nothing can hurt, like, I mean, not really, nothing can hurt him, but you know, he's like nigh invulnerable and very durable and tough. And I figured if he was to enter the Marvel universe, he would be amongst the most powerful. And that's the way I wanted him to be portrayed, like as a vanguard that could take a lot of punishment, you know, without like lifting a muscle. It doesn't phase him. But then, you know, for balance purposes, he wouldn't do the damage that he would be able to, say, in the comics or the show, where he would probably just decimate everybody. But the way I wanted to show that he still had strength in terms of gameplay was I figured that he would be, you know, producing a lot of knockback, a lot of pushing, and just dominance in that regard, you know, really controlling where the enemy is. You know, he would be flying around, just hitting, you know, punching people, but also pushing them back, pushing them around, grabbing them, slamming them on the ground, that kind of thing. And that's like pretty much, it was my idea of like some sort of crowd control mechanics, and still portraying that he is very strong and that he can dominate people by just picking them up. Thought it'd be pretty funny if you see him, you know, pick up the Hulk and throw him on the ground, stuff like that. And so, yeah, I definitely wanted him chunky, just so that, you know, at one look, you know that he's going to be a vanguard. And there's also the fact that I feel like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people will agree, I feel like there's always a shortage of vanguards and strategists. I feel like so many of the Marvel characters can just very easily slot into the duelist role, because they usually, majority of them fit that role very easily, and I think Omni-Man probably could have as well. But I decided to take the challenge to just make it a little bit different, you know, and that always makes it more fun, because, you know, rather than going for the easy and obvious, you know, design choices, it's cool to give yourself a challenge and see what you can come up with if you make it something that might be, less common. And yeah, pretty much here I just continue rendering. I've just finally settled down on a pose and the anatomy and proportions and everything, and design for the armor. And I just keep going and rendering it, doing the cross hatching and the cuts and lines in the armor, cracks, just further detailing everything until I bring it to a finish. All right, boys, we're back.
We are back.
It's been a while.
It has been a while,
really
hasn't
has.
it? It's like a real long time,
Yeah.
but we finally did it.
Yeah, Jackson was too busy having a nice romantic getaway in Nippon.
Just having the freaking best holiday in Japan. All good, but we're back now.
Japan's so
We're
good. Yeah.
the best.
All right.
How'd you
We're
go?
back. Yeah, I think I did it. Okay. As always, see what you guys say.
There's a bit of hesitation in that.
I think I did. Okay.
Sort of moments of self-doubt, but gotta
Everyone's
I
got
don't know
it.
about you guys, but yeah.
Were
Just
you
gotta push through.
were you happy that you like had Omni-Man? Like, would you prefer to draw someone else, or were you cool with him?
I was a little worried because it's like how all they have obviously all the superheroes have different powers, right? And then I was just wondering how to show him as what he is, because he's really just a guy that flies around, just beats the crap out of everybody, right? Like he doesn't have like anything like like claws or laser eyes or that kind of thing. He's just
Very
a human
very
looking
basic.
guy that but as I was drawing it, I thought of some stuff, and I think it came out all right.
Oh, it's
I guess
sick.
I'll just show you guys now.
Yeah, bring
Okay.
it up. Bring it
Bring it.
up.
Drop it in the chat.
You don't seem to understand. Earth isn't yours to conquer.
Oh shit!
Dude, he looks sick.
Oh, nice.
He's like a chunky, armored up fucking evil Superman. That is sick.
Yeah, thanks. I guess that's like kind of what he is, like an evil Superman, right?
Yeah.
And I chunked him up a bit more because I thought he could be a Vanguard, because I haven't done a Vanguard in a while.
Yep.
And I guess really with this version, all I did, I just it was really just his straightforward design with the grey and the red, and I just tried to rivals it up, just make it like chunky sci-fi bits and armor and stuff.
I love the cape. Cape is
uh,
like a really nice touch, and that like side loincloth thing. I don't know what to call it.
Yeah. I don't know what you call him either, but yeah, I was like adding that stuff a bit because it's like I wanted him to look. It didn't really push this as hard, but I wanted to make him look a bit like royalty, like he's like like a king or like some real high up person, because I think he is like a very high up, like high ranking Viltrumite, right?
Yeah.
So it just that was what I did to portray it, and that's basically it.
Dude, that's
Nice.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
It's and for people that are watching your video in the timeline, you're the first one to show yours. But it's funny the route you picked, because when you see my Invincible, I feel like it'll almost fit in the same universe as your Omni-Man, which is kind of sick.
Interesting.
That's cool.
And then it makes me excited to see Rui's Battle Beast too, because I wonder how
We'll see.
how closely they'll all be. Yeah.
We'll
Now-
see.
Yeah.
One thing I was going to say, with the cloth that goes down the side of his leg there, in the shows it's normally like down the front, right? Or something similar?
It is a bit. Yeah, the Viltrumite uniform, they have it more at the front, but I always just liked it. I like it when things are uneven and on the side. I was
Yeah.
gonna try to do it a bit more, like have like the cape even flowing like over one shoulder. Like there's the
Oh.
sideways capes.
Yeah.
I was sort of thinking that maybe I should have done that. I don't know, but then I kind of wanted to
could've
show
been
some
sick.
armor as well. So.
I low key wish you showed the emblem on the front, the chest piece, instead of like having his arms
Yeah.
folded.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. I was really juggling with the pose a lot. So this is like definitely just a more forward-facing one, right? Normally
Arms
we're gonna
folded
have-
is iconic for like Omni-Man, but like I
Yeah,
can see
yeah.
you've done something really different with the armor, and I wish I could see more. That's all.
Yeah, I was actually I kept looking at the arms. I'm like, do I repaint them? Do I move them? But I wanted the arms folded thing because I just kind of imagine, because he's like, he's like one of the top Viltrumites, so I figured he'd be like
Yeah.
super like just a real boss and like or arrogant, like, you know, and basically that's how he walks and almost flies around. He's just kind of just arms folded, but like
like he couldn't give a shit what anyone else thinks because
exactly
full Vegeta style. Literally like the Vegeta Viltrumites.
Now
exactly.
The only solution that I could have thought today, which I'm pretty sure he does in the show, I can't remember, but he also does like a version where he crosses his arms behind his back, like he's sort of with the chest out, which is still like a I don't give a fuck boss stance as well. And then it could show off a bit of the chest armor, but I mean I think both poses definitely work. It's just because the armor looks so cool. Yeah, it would be cool to see that chest piece.
I wish you added more of the gold accents, because like that on the cape and the side loincloth thing and the gloves, I wish there was like more throughout it, like maybe on the legs and stuff, because like that looks so fucking clean.
I think it's mostly just on the fabric sections, right?
I just kept it at that part. I wasn't I guess I just wasn't sure if it would like go too far, because I just want to keep it to like just Omni-Man suit colors.
You don't want to go too far. That's funny.
But adding gold trim is always fun to add to things,
which
is why I did it. But it was basically a bit like he basically ended up being a bit of a mash of like the Magneto and Doctor Strange in this.
Yeah, okay,
that's cool.
Yeah,
I dig it.
But yeah.
Oh, that's sick, man.
All right, show us abilities.
Abilities.
Cool.
Look what they need to mimic a fraction of our power.
Abilities.
Oh my god.
It's kicking in, boys.
Kicking in.
The autism's taken over. Alrighty. We've got the. Let me get.
All right, so he punches. Mega clap.
So the clap, it's very similar to like Hulk has the clap as well, right? But then I thought
I don't think he has the clap in the game.
He doesn't, does he?
Yeah, Hulk does.
Does he?
Got, I'm pretty sure he's got like a exile thing where it kind of like stuns you.
Oh,
yeah. So it'll be very similar to that, I guess. I just thought that was cool because in the show, when Omni-Man is fighting that bit, he does that.
Yeah,
I thought that was really cool. So it's just a cool way to give him like some semi-projectile kind of attack.
Yeah, 100%.
Since like we were saying, he's just like a dude that just punches.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess his basic attack will just be like just punching people.
Yeah.
Because he's a Vanguard, I didn't want him to, he wouldn't do super damage and stuff, but then I figured it's just a lot more disruption, right? So the thing like with the clap and everything, it'd be like a bit of a knockback, and then just from the knockback thing, that's just what inspired the rest of my abilities. So like we can work our way up again. So
so from the passive,
I just called that a fraction of our power. Just quoting that meme bit when he's talking to Mark. I always thought that was it's like a meme, very memey line, but it's also really badass as well, right?
He can constantly fly. That's cool.
Yeah. So he's like he's one of the heroes that can fly all the time. So like Iron Man and stuff. But I figured there'd be like a huge emphasis on it because, especially in the show and stuff, they really show the Viltrumites like flying, like they're basically like fighter jets, right? Like the way they just kind of always has like that sound barrier breaking effect and everything. I figured his flight would be faster than any other character that can fly in this game. And then it's like, because he's like so strong, it's just like his presence kind of like if he's just walking or flying, whatever, and he collides with somebody, then there's like a bit of a knockback there.
Oh, they get collision. They
just push people. He pushes people a bit just by going into them.
That's pretty funny because as someone who mains Thor, when I do the Thor's like dash, it like with the hammer, if I hit like a Winter Soldier doing it or another Thor or something, we both get knocked back onto the ground and it shits me because you're stuck on the ground for like 2 seconds. But so that'd be sick if you're Omni-Man and you could just do it and they just go down, so you could just beat the shit out of them on the ground.
That would be so annoying.
That'd be sick. I would definitely choose him to main over Thor then.
I changed I'll do the order a bit differently. I'll go to his shift, which is called Grip of the Empire. So it's basically just he can grab people. He can grab one person, the first person he collides with when you activate it. So it's very similar to Wolverine's leap.
Oh yeah.
But but you can kind of control it a bit more because you're flying around, and you do that. And then that essentially combos with his other ability, just like a meteor landing, so you can just stop flying and just go straight, drop vertically, rapidly.
So you grab him.
Yeah, fly up and then just slam him in the ground, and then the slam will just do a bit of damage to everyone else that you hit on the ground as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then his ultimate is just Viltrumite Rage, and it just buffs everything up a bit, and he can grab multiple enemies. So I figure he can just like he can fly and just grab as many people as he can. And
more than wow! So he's just holding on with one hand with like all these. Jesus.
Grab them all and then do the big meteor landing.
Well, he could use both hands technically, couldn't he? Just grab a whole bunch of people. Because that's strong.
Yeah, exactly.
Fly. Can you just like drop them off the map, or do you have to like slam them into the ground?
That's true. Yeah, I don't know.
I reckon like Jeff, suicide off the edge of the map.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Flying off the map. Just drop them off the map, like poof.
Yeah.
That's sick.
I figured. Yeah, he'd probably be pretty busted in that sense, but yeah, it'll all just be like, I just like that he's flying around the whole time pretty fast, flying and just like pushing everyone around.
You had a difficult character to like make abilities for. I feel like Omni-Man and even Invincible, but more Omni-Man, you're kind of like, how do I make this guy like not OP?
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to. That's how you represent like their OP-ness, right? That they can push everybody, but it's like not OP in the sense that they just like one tap everyone.
Yeah.
One Punch Man or something. Yeah. So, and then I think the knockback thing would be a really good. It's like a good disruption thing, so it's perfect for like a Vanguard.
Yeah, nice.
Cool. But I also think like, I mean, at the end of the day, we are just making fun concept art. So like, you can every now and then just chuck in a few moves that you just really like. You know what I mean? Even if it does break the game a little bit. Because it's fun. It's like, no, these aren't actually going to be in the game, but it's. I know we are trying to make them somewhat balanced, but
we're not full-blown NetEase game developers. At the end of the day, we're just three guys drawing for fun.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I mean, I figured like his abilities would be pretty balanced, but the flying part will be busted as like just flying that quickly and just ramming everybody non-stop in and out.
Oh god.
We're gonna be on one of those YouTube shorts. It's like game developers hate them, and it's just like our videos and our faces.
Yeah.
Like, god damn it.
Yeah. These guys break every game they touch
with one simple trick. They fuck the gaming industry.
One simple pick.
Oh, that's good. That's sick, man. Very cool. Very cool. I love
Well done. You killed it.
Thank you. Yeah, cheers, guys. And if everyone watching wants to check out Jackson's Invincible, remember to check out his channel. And if you want to see what Rui's take on for Battle Beast, check out his channel. All right. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that video. Just remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you did. And let me know in the comments below what characters you'd want to see from Invincible in Marvel Rivals. And let me know what abilities you think they might have. I think you can have a lot of fun thinking of different moves and ultimates for so many different characters. Alright, peace.
Oh yeah, that's sick.
Hell yeah.
That is very cool, man.